So it's Back to the Basics. I'm Don. This is Matt, my brother. You've seen us all in our fishing videos, and today we're going to start a new series about how to get started fishing from the ground up. So our plan was to buy some inexpensive equipment to get us started. First time out, maybe you're taking your kid out for the first time. Maybe you've been a long time since you haven't gone fishing and you just don't have any gear. So what do you get? What do you buy? Where do you buy it from? What do you need to get started? So that's what we did. We went out to our local Walmart to start there, and we bought some stuff. So we figured we got what, enough to do two people. We literally fished for 2 people. So 2 people, we spent, I gotta subtract the things we bought, $5 off of that. So we spent about 58 bucks for 2 people to go fishing. So literally you could probably break that down to about $25,
$30
for a single person to go fishing. To get something going, to go fishing. So we're just going to go through what we got and talk about why we bought it, what we bought it for, and some of the things to use, not to use, reasons we recommend don't use this, or recommend why we use that instead. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to start off with the tackle box. Let's talk about the tackle box, what comes in this tackle box, why we picked this tackle box. So this, I'd say the reason we really picked it was because it just felt like it had everything.
It's a good, if you're going to buy a kit, it's a good starter kit.
Right.
It's a good product. Not that we're promoting anyone, but
it's Eagle Claw.
It's Eagle Claw,
and it's American made. I think that's
a big deal.
That's a big deal for us, American made Eagle Claw. Not to say that other things that we buy aren't American made, or even if they are made somewhere else, it doesn't really matter. It's just, but it's Eagle Claw. They are trusted, yeah,
fishing
products. I mean, they've been around forever. It's like it's literally one of those things that have been around. I don't know, almost as long as fishing has been around. So we're going to open this up. So we bought this. As you can see, it has some gear in it, tackle. We see some swivels, some jig. Oh, there is jig heads in there. There was jig heads in there. Some rubber worms, some split shot, some sinkers, hooks,
fishing line,
yeah, bobbers, couple bobbers. So we're gonna open this up and kind of dissect it and see what's in here that we recommend, or not necessarily recommend, but say, yeah, we'd use that. You'd probably find this in our tackle box, our personal tackle boxes, or hey, what would I throw out? So I'm gonna wrap this thing here. And I think if I pop that off, it's gonna go spilling. So okay. So I'm gonna set that to the side. What's that orange thing in there?
It's a line cutter.
It's a line cutter.
Yeah, it saves your teeth.
Yeah, we use our teeth a lot.
Don't use your teeth with braided line, but with nylon filament, it works.
So I just want to look inside the box, see what's in here for now. So I heard something rattling around. Dividers. Okay.
Surprisingly nice for a small tackle box.
Yeah, for a starter tackle box, I mean, it's nothing super fancy. The trays manual, it doesn't come up with a lid or nothing like that, so you'd have to open it up and then pull your tray back. But that's fine. It's perfect for a nice little starter box. Got the dividers in here, so the dividers basically would break away, and you have this top tray that if you look in there, you see the lines here. So Matt put one in there. I think it's got the teeth on it. Yeah. So yeah, put that in. Actually, it goes upside down.
I'm going the other way.
So make sure you put it in the right way.
Follow the direction. They probably have one.
It probably does somewhere. All right. So yeah, so you put your divider in, and you basically want your dividers so you can separate your tackle. That's the biggest thing. So everything's not just one big tangled mess inside the box. This box also has a top compartment.
Quick compartment.
It's all open. Yeah, quick stuff. Things you want to grab in quick, fast, in a hurry. So yeah.
The stringer.
Yeah, stringer. Very important. Very important. We'll go over that on another video, how to use a stringer properly and how to actually put a fish on here so you don't kill it.
Yeah.
That's very important. So, you know, I see those bobbers, and we brought this bobber out as a what not to use.
Right.
So here's now we got 3 of these bobbers. What not to use bobbers.
What not to use.
So
This you might get away with,
yeah,
but it's not going to hold any weight either.
No,
so
no.
if you've got split shot stuff under it, it's going to
Yeah.
sink on its own.
So these bobbers, and any guy who's fished any length of time, I shouldn't say guy, any person that's fished any length of time, guy, girl, whatever, if you started fishing when you were a kid 30 years ago, oh no, I was 17 30 years ago. So let's say 40 years ago.
It started when we were like 3 or 4, so
yeah. We used these bobbers, and because I think back then that's about all they had.
Yeah, I don't remember any.
I didn't remember torpedo bobbers or nothing like that. You know, weighted bobbers.
The only other ones I remember is that the egg-shaped one that were actually for the ocean, the wooden ones.
Yeah.
But they were even worse than that.
Yeah. So and these were okay. I mean, back when that was what you had, that's what you had. So we have these. Well, we bought these today because we would say these are one of the go-to type bobbers that we like to use. First off, they're highly visible because they are that hunter orange. They got the yellow tips on them. And these are weighted bobbers. And we use these for a very particular reason. And that reason would be?
Casting distance. You can put a bunch of weight on your line, but you put it underneath the bobber, guess what? You're going to sink your bobber without ever having anything on it. Having that little bit of extra weight on your bobber, plus the weight you put on your line, you're going to be able to get out much further. And that's one of the main reasons we use them. Also, that shape with the weight already helps hold the float down some. So when you're taking a kid out and you're fishing for sunnies and things like that, this takes a lot more resistance to go under the surface, and you're going to miss a ton of fish. And probably just frustrate you and whoever you're taking fishing. With that, you have a much better chance of seeing the fish take it and the fish actually holding on to the bait.
And I like these too because this is a good indicator of if you're actually on the bottom and not got your bait suspended. Because with the weighted bobber, if your bait is suspended off the bottom of wherever you're fishing at, this bobber will stand straight up and it'll
be very steady,
very nice and buoyant and steady. Whereas if you are on the bottom, it'll have a tendency to do that.
Well, that one won't.
Oh no, this one won't.
But you will. What you will see is when it hits the bottom, it will elevate because
Right.
the weight from the bait won't be pulling it down.
And there's another one. We use the other ones. The unweighted ones. I always get some things backwards. I mean, I'm losing my mind. I'm getting old.
The pencil bobber.
Yeah, because I do have these without the weights on.
Yep.
And those are good for indicating if you're on the bottom, because when they sit like that, you know you're on the bottom, and that might not be where you want to be. So we always want to be suspended. So yeah, I use these. You use these
all the time.
Wait, you know. We use different versions of these too.
Yes.
They've got the balsa. Was it balsa wood?
Yeah,
the balsa wood.
Balsa woods with the weights on them.
Yeah.
Walmart didn't have any of those today.
No, we
Or we would have them.
We would have them. Yeah, because that's actually probably the one I prefer the most.
Yes.
Is the balsa wood version. It's actually even more. It's a little bit thinner.
Yeah, the pencil style.
Yeah.
They're awesome, especially for panfish.
Yeah, and and again, the color is a big thing. I think everybody sees different, to some degree. I mean, they have these in yellow. They have them in green.
I've used yellow. I've used green. And the only thing I've ever seen a benefit to do is the green work at just before dark, or right as the sun's setting. You can see them a little bit better than the orange, but during the day, orange all
You know what? I wonder if with the green, if we got a black light flashlight fishing at night, if we shined it across the water, if it would
pick it up,
reflect it.
I don't know. I was curious about that purple one though. Like, how was that going to show up?
That would be hard as heck to see.
I would think, because water's kind of got that blue hue. But
That would be anyway. So
different subject.
we get up on tangents. Anyway, so that's our replacement. So you get these in a kit. Look, if you're just trying to get out to save, trying to get out in the water and go fishing, and you buy this kit because hey, I just want to get in the water, and you didn't want to spend the extra money, this will get you by. But I think with these, you need to learn to watch your bobber a little bit more because they won't always go down when you have a fish messing with it. You know, I think that's one of the reasons probably why we fish the way we do, because I study my line a lot.
Oh yeah. I watch mine. I hold my line even with a float on.
Yeah, you know, because we grew up with this thing, and you know.
Now, granted, if you keep one of those on long enough, they start to sink because they leak.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're pretty good.
Yeah, the ones when they fill up with water, that's funny.
About halfway, start working out.
So before we go further, this kit, so we know, this kit again at our local Walmart was $16.96, which isn't bad for what you're getting. These bobbers here were for the larger ones. If you notice, we actually have two different sizes. So our larger ones were actually cheaper ones, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I didn't even know there were two different prices.
Yeah, they were two different prices, and I think the larger ones were actually the cheaper of the two. Yes, they were.
Huh.
So the larger ones, believe it or not, were $1.16 for the 3-pack, and the smaller ones were $1.66 for the 3-pack. I'm guessing.
I think it's probably a typo when they put in the price.
I'm wondering.
Because they all were marked $1.
But you know what? The smaller ones might be more popular.
Could be.
That could be. You know.
It's a 50-cent difference.
Yeah. So it's all right.
If you need to save the 50 cents, just buy the larger one.
So yeah, but it's definitely worth. It's not even $2. It's buy a pack. You know, a 3-pack should last you at least a day.
Yeah. And if you stick with watching us, we'll get you to where I have bobbers that are 10 years old. I have something I'm like, I don't know if it'll hold together anymore. It's so old.
Actually, I don't lose my bobbers too much. I lost one the other week. Last week when me and Gabe were out for bass fishing, I lost one the other week.
Well, earlier this year is the first one I've lost probably in like 3 or 4 years. When it broke and the fish, I assume was a striper, took the line. That's the first bobber I lost.
I didn't break. Ask Gabe. My bobber, my line got caught and hung up, and I did the jerk on it, and I guess somehow the spring jumped on it. Because they're spring loaded. The ones our pencil ones that we use a lot, they're spring loaded. Yeah. They have a spring that holds the line in. And I double wrap, so we'll show you that later. But you know, a lot of times people just put the string in and let the spring go. I put my string in and wrap around once and set it so it locks it in place. And I would double wrap, and somehow it just was floating away. And so I was like, okay, that's the way it goes. Actually comes up into the fish and hooks it, right?
Right, so that when the fish bites it, twists the hook.
It twists the hook and gives it a better grip. So those are actually really nice hooks, and actually I probably would. If I could get a good 4-inch creek chub, I would put that on there.
Oh yeah.
I'd be all right.